Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a full face of neglected makeup. I started doing these videos earlier this year just as a way of going through my collection, making sure I'm using everything, and I wanted to do that today. I haven't done one in a few months, and I realized today that I've never done a drugstore only neglected makeup video, so that's what we're going to do today. I went through my collection and just picked a ton of products, drugstore products that I have not used in quite a while. So that is today's video. If you are new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on YouTube. I would love for you to subscribe, and let's get into the video. All right, I'm actually gonna skip primer today. I don't have very many drugstore primers at all, and I've prepped my skin pretty well, so I think we can skip primer. For foundation, if you've been around my channel, this will be familiar to you. This is the Revlon Skin Caring Foundation. There was a time, probably, I don't know, about a year ago or so, that this was one of my top foundations. I love this immediately when I tried it, and I haven't used it in quite a while. So let's use this today. This is very, very hydrating. It's definitely on the glowier side. It's, I believe, 5% squalane and hyaluronic acid. So definitely has a lot of skincare, and it's not a ton of coverage. I would say like light medium at the most, but I use the shade 217. No one ever talks about this anymore. I think back when it was, you know, a newer product to the market, you saw a little bit more about it, but I definitely don't hear anyone talking about it now. So I'm excited to use it again, and I'm going to use this brush I haven't used in a while. It's not a drugstore brush. It's from Smashbox, but it's their blurring foundation brush, and I'm using this because it's clean. And again, this is shade 217. So you can see it definitely adds a lot of hydration, not a ton of coverage or anything, but I tend to like really lightweight bases anyway. And then I just use concealer where I need more coverage. If you've tried this and you like it, let me know. I want to say back last year when I really started using this a ton, a lot of you purchased this. So let me know if you still have it and if you use it. If you have more mature skin, or maybe you just have really, really dry skin and you haven't tried this, I would highly recommend it if you're okay with a lighter coverage. It is very, very nice. For a corrector, I'm going to use this one from Pixi, another really great product. And honestly, it's one of the best correctors, full coverage correctors, I should say, in my collection. And I'm actually going to grab some on a brush like this. This one, if you haven't used it in a while, you do have to kind of warm it up a little bit. So I'm getting some on the brush here, and I'm going to put it on the back of my hand actually and apply it like that. If you're looking for a really good fuller coverage corrector, this one from Pixi is really, really good. The only issue with it is it only comes in 2 shades, which stinks. I wish it came in at least like 4 shades. I'm actually using an eyeshadow brush. This is a MAC 217 to apply it. I actually like applying it this way from the back of my hand. I haven't done this in a really long time, but it works well. I have this little spot of melasma on my nose right here, so I'm gonna take some of that and just kind of tap over that. Honestly, there aren't that many color correctors from the drugstore in general. They're kind of hard to find, so I don't have a ton to recommend from the drugstore, but this is definitely a really, really good one if you're looking for one. Moving into concealer, this was a very easy choice. I picked this one from Catrice. This is a great concealer, and I don't remember the last time I used this actually, and I don't know why, because it's really good. It's True Skin High Cover Concealer, and this one is the shade number 10, Cool Cashmere. The only thing about, well, Catrice in general, in the United States at least, is kind of hard to get your hands on. They used to sell it at Ulta. They don't sell it at Ulta anymore, which I kind of wonder why they don't sell it at Ulta. Catrice is the sister brand to Essence, I'm pretty sure. And they still sell Essence at Sephora. So I don't know why they don't sell this anymore, because this is a great brand. They have a lot of really good products. But this concealer, really the only places to get it if you're in the United States are, you can order from Catrice.com or you can get it on Amazon. I got mine on Amazon, but I wish it was more accessible in the United States because they have a lot of good products. And it's a pretty high coverage concealer, which is what I like. It's a great option. I think it's like $10 maybe on Amazon. I'm trying to think of another, oh, I know another drugstore concealer that I really like. I don't have it anymore, but I need to buy it again because I love it. And it's the NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer. That one is so good. In fact, I need to like go to an Ulta and pick one of those up or something, because I haven't used that in a long time, and it's a great, great concealer. It's not quite as much coverage as this one, but it's great. Let me grab a different brush for under my eyes. I'm gonna blend the under eyes with the N14 from BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose. And actually just yesterday, or no, was it yesterday? I think this was 2 days ago. I ordered 3 more of these from BK Beauty because they're doing the anniversary sale right now and it's 30% off everything. So I ordered 3 of these because I'm a psychotic person and I just can't. This is my favorite concealer brush of all time. And I also wanted to try it for setting my under eyes with powder, but I only had 1, so it just wasn't working. So I ordered 3. So if there's anything you want from BK Beauty, now's a good time to order because everything is 30% off. And I think all the sets are included in the sale as well. For a bronzer, I pulled out this one. This is the Milani Cream Bronzer in Hey Honey. I'm going to use this in 15 from BK Beauty. And I think, from what I remember, this is pretty pigmented. So I'm going to kind of go on the back of my hand first. And then apply. So I tapped off a lot of it and you still get a lot of pigment, so definitely pretty pigmented. I also like the Milani cream blushes in the compacts. I don't think I have one right now, but I want them to expand the shade range so bad on those blushes. I think they're the Cheek Kiss blushes, I want to say. I wish so bad that they would add more shades because I think they only have 3 or 4 maybe. Has anyone tried the new e.l.f. liquid contours, the Camo liquid contours? Last time I was in Ulta, they had them, and I almost bought one, but I didn't end up getting it. Has anyone tried them? I'm not like a huge fan of the e.l.f. Camo liquid blushes, so I think that's kind of why I didn't just immediately pick one up, but let me know if you've tried it. All right, speaking of the e.l.f. blushes, I did pull this out because I don't use this very often. This is the Camo liquid blush in the shade Suave Mauve. I need to use this again because I need to jog my memory of my thoughts on this, but I want to say when I used this before, I didn't think it was like the easiest thing to blend and apply, but maybe I'm wrong. I think, let's see, what should I use? I'm gonna try this 112 brush. and really kind of work it into the brush. I do remember I did try applying it directly on my face, and that definitely did not work very well. So I'm gonna try it my tried and true way now. And again, this is Suave Mauve. This is a great brush actually for cream or liquid blushes. I feel like this one doesn't get talked about much, the 112 brush, but it's kind of small, it's angled, it's fluffy, it's not super dense. So if you're not wanting like a ton of pigment, I mean, you still get a lot, as you can see, but this one is a little bit easier to not go overboard with. If you have this one and you haven't tried it for cream or liquid blush, you should try it. And I know they just recently not re-released, but they released some new shades, I think. When they released the bronzers, the Camo liquid bronzers, I think they released like 2 or 3 new blush shades too. Very pigmented. Pretty color though. I'm gonna take my foundation brush and just lightly kind of tap over that blush just to tone it down just a little bit. Honestly though, it looks way better this time than I remember from before, and I'm guessing it's because of how I applied it. So just goes to show, sometimes it's not the product, it's the application. I also pulled out a powder bronzer and a powder blush. I really don't think I need both, but they're both from NYX and they're the Buttermilk products. So I have the bronzer and the blush here. This one, the blush is so pretty. It's been so long since I used this, but I remember how much I love it. This is shade number 2, or maybe it's not number 2. It's Butta Together is the name. I'm gonna use this brush because it's really fluffy and I can control the pigment on it better. Really don't need any blush, but I really want to use this pink. I actually saw Patrick Ta doing this the other day. He used this same brush and he held the brush like so far out like this, and he went like this when he applied a powder. It was his powder blush he was applying, but he went like that, but he was like barely touching the skin. I thought that was interesting. And this brush is the Morphe Ariel blush brush, by the way. For powder, I pulled out the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. This used to be a favorite too. I haven't used it lately, but it's really, really good if you're looking for a pressed powder from the drugstore. I don't have any loose powders from the drugstore that I just like love. I wish I did, but I really don't. I'm actually not going to use a ton of it just because I don't feel like I really need it right now. My skin is definitely a little bit more on the dry side at the moment, so I'm just going to do a little bit of this. For brows, I don't have too many products for the brows that are from the drugstore that are neglected because that's what I use majority of the time. I do have this pencil, which I haven't used in a while. This is by CoverGirl, and it's the Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. I've had this for a long time. I haven't used it in a while. So I'll use this, but honestly, most of my drugstore brow stuff, I do use. So I typically kind of outline the brows first, and then I'm going to use a different product in a second that you probably know what it is. All right, now I'm going to go in with a favorite product. This is definitely not neglected, but this is Maybelline Build-A-Brow. This has been a favorite for a few months now. It's so, so good. If you haven't tried it, you definitely should. And then I'm just gonna set them with the gel that comes with the Maybelline. Gonna have to buy a new one of these here pretty soon because This one is definitely getting pretty low. For the eyes, we're gonna do like the quickest, easiest eyeshadow look ever. I'm first gonna take this from e.l.f. I haven't used this in forever, but this is the No Budge Matte eyeshadow stick in the shade Thrift Shop, which is just kind of like a lighter taupey brown, I guess, is how I would describe it. So I'm just gonna kind of draw it on. These are great from e.l.f. I wish they came in more colors because the formula is really, really good. I'm gonna blend with the 206 from BK Beauty and just kind of blend it out and up a little bit. There's another one that's a darker kind of like grayish color. My mom has that one and she loves it. But other than that, there aren't many shades in general, but there's a few that are brighter colors. There aren't many neutrals at all, which I wish they would expand because this formula is really, really nice. And then on top of that, I'm going to use this from ColourPop. Who remembers these? This is the Super Shock Shadow in the shade Couche. Look at that. So pretty. And I'm just going to tap this over the top. That is pretty much all we're going to do on the eyes. I haven't used a Super Shock shadow in so long, but that one is so pretty. I love the color and it really goes pretty well with that eyeshadow stick. I'm going to take that brush that we used, the 206, and kind of run it on my lower lash line as well. And now I'm going to do something else that I love to do, which is use Maybelline Build-A-Brow as eyeliner. This is really nice because these pens are more on the sheer side. So the pigment is not so intense that they're hard to work with. They're a little bit easier, and the little point on these pens is really, really, really tiny, which makes it easier to do wing liner, especially if you have a hooded eye or smaller eyes. I'm doing just a little bit of a wing. All right, I am going to curl my lashes and then we'll move into mascara. Now all of my drugstore mascaras get used because I love drugstore mascara. So they're not really neglected, but I haven't used my favorite e.l.f. Lash and Roll in a little while. And I think this tube might be on its last leg anyway. So I'm gonna use it one last time because it's a little bit dry. But this has been a favorite for a few years now. And it still is. If you like a separating and lengthening mascara, you aren't looking for like a ton of volume, definitely give this one a try. It's holy grail for me. And this is the brown shade, by the way. It comes in black too, obviously, but I love brown for me. It's so good, just trust me. We'll clean that up in a minute. I can't ever seem to do my mascara without getting some of it on my nose. This is one of those products that whenever I run out of it, I just automatically buy it again because it's just not something I could ever see not being in my possession. So I've been through so many of these. Finally, for lips, I pulled out a few things here. I have a lip liner from, or actually I have two lip liners from NYX. I have nude truffle and nutmeg. I'm probably gonna go for nude truffle. I used to use the NYX pencils all the time until I discovered the Maybelline ones, the lifter liners. These are so good, but let's use this one today. Am I making this up, or did they discontinue nude truffle now that I think about it? I feel like I heard that a while ago. Or maybe they didn't discontinue it, but it was hard to find or something. I don't know. Can't remember, but I vaguely remember hearing something about that. And then on top of that, I'm gonna use this from e.l.f. These are really good. These are the O Face satin lipsticks, and this one is in Dirty Talk. Such a pretty kind of dusty pink. And then the only other gloss I could think of from the drugstore, and I love this, I haven't used mine lately, but I do love it, is the Lifter Gloss, but this one is the shade Moon, which is the perfect lighter pink, kind of similar to, a little bit similar to Fussy, or no, actually it's more similar to Fenty Glow from Fenty Glosses. It's so pretty. One more thing I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna take the Milani bronzer that we used, and I'm actually gonna add some of this to the crease of my eye. I meant to do this earlier, but I forgot. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this just because we used this on my face, and I always feel like this really pulls things together. See what a difference that makes? Did you see that? It just like pulls everything together. Such a good tip. And then one more thing I'm gonna use is L'Oreal Infallible 3-second Setting Mist. Have not used this in quite a while either. And this is the final look. Full face of neglected makeup, drugstore edition. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really like doing these, and I think it's a good way for me, again, kind of like my everyday makeup drawer videos, to go through my collection, because I do have a larger makeup collection, obviously, and this is a good way to make sure I'm switching things out and, you know, cycling through my products. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I will have everything that I used in the description box with links and shades and everything. If you do shop through any of my links, I do make a commission and it supports my channel. So thank you if you do that. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you again soon. Remember, simply be you. Bye.